Well, we are back. It has been a while since I've done a video. Been crazy busy lately. We'll start off, anybody that watches the channel knows we've been cutting for a new mill. But the downside is it is an hour and a half away from where we live now. So we have been in the process of trying to buy a house, trying to sell our house, find the kids new schools and soccer and just normal life things. Haven't really had time. But we are cutting this nice private tract of timber here. He's clear cutting it. He's probably 24 years old. He never thinned it because he used it for raking pine straw. So he probably did that for, I don't know, 15 years probably. Somebody comes in and rakes all the needles up. They call it pine straw. So he never thinned it, and now it's to the point it's not really getting the needles he wants on the ground, and it's growing so thick, and there's not really any tops. If we were to thin it, if you get a bad storm or something, it'd probably just break most of them off. So we are clear cutting this, and he's going to replant it with some long leaf pine so he can get better needles, and he'll continue raking it for a while, and eventually it'll be cut again. So we are just cutting what we were, our 12s and 14s in pulpwood. And the good thing now is all the logs are going to the mill, and he has a pellet mill also. So now he started taking all of our pulpwood, and they're just chipping it there and using it in their pellet plant. So every stick of wood we cut goes to him, which is extremely nice because it's probably 20 miles away. We have no quota. We can send in as much as we can cut, and we actually need more trucks. There's probably, I don't even know if you can see, kind of hard to see, there's some piles there. There's probably 15 loads of pulpwood and logs on the landing that still have to go. But we aren't going to stop because the landing is getting full. We'll lay it on the ground if we have to and pick it up later. But we'll get going here. Start chipping away through all this and see how it goes. One thing in here, it's never been thinned, and the defect is terrible between all the forks and cankers and whatnot. I mean, even it's kind of hard to see, but right there, there's a big canker in it. So until above that canker, it's kind of pulpwood, because below it we can't get the length we need to make a log out of it. I'll show everybody. You can kind of see how it's kind of bulbed up there. You can always tell there's a canker there if it's got that big bulge in it. So right right at the canker is 11 feet. So can't get a log, so we'll go just past the canker. Cut that out for pulpwood. And then the rest of the tree looks clean and good. So the whole rest of this tree will be logs for the log mill. Takes the logs down to 4.5 inches. This one here, it's got a fork starting there, but we are able to cut a 12-footer out, so we'll cut that out. And a lot of times I'll cut the fork, both stems of the fork out, but the one's got a canker on it and the other one's kind of small, so we'll just run the whole thing right out for pulpwood, not even bother cutting the fork out. A lot of times if it's a bigger fork, I'll cut them apart and pull the logs out of it, but in this case it's not worth my effort for the size that it is and the one having a big canker in it. This one here, you can see it forks right away, so we'll just slide the head down to just past the fork. We'll cut it, let go of it, and we'll cut the whole piece into logs. And in here, typically, our normal day with how thick the wood is and the size, we've probably been cutting and loading out, I'd say 8 to 10 loads every day. A lot of times we won't get it hauled because trucking is always hard to find. We got ours running, but we need some extra help. And everybody's always busy or got something going on or just too lazy or don't want to work. So we haven't been loading out every day 8 to 10 loads, but we've at least been cutting and forwarding out 8 to 10 truckloads every day. So that's good. Over 12 inches, like this one's over 12, the butt size 12, goes down another line. So we sort out anything with a butt size bigger than 12 inches. So we'll cut out the oversized ones when we get below the 12 inch. And we're still right at it, so we'll take out one more of the oversized. Small log out. And looks like we got another oversized one here, so sort them out. Actually 13 inches at the butt. So we will back up to our oversized. This wood's so thick I can reach further on my sides, but you start getting so much wood built up, you don't want to make it a pain for the forwarder operator. And that being my wife, I will get yelled at. So usually she's been probably having to stop at the small log pile, which is the majority of everything. Probably 3 to 4 piles, and she's typically the forwarder's loaded, so that's half a semi-load of wood. But once we get rolling here, down the road a little further, and we'll end up with big piles of the small logs, and she is loving her life. She is cruising along. She's probably doing 4, sometimes 5 forwarder loads an hour. She wants, she'll catch up to me. She can pick it up so fast. We got a short skid, and the piles are so big it doesn't take her long to load it up. So I got my work cut out for me. A beautiful day here in Georgia. It is 78 degrees, my computer says. Can't ask for a nicer sunny day. We got a bunch of rain yesterday, but the sun came out, and the wind is kind of hard to tell. The wind's blowing actually pretty hard. So it is drying out nice by the end of the day. It'll be nice and dried out again. The road was getting a little sloppy. But with this wind and sun shining today, there isn't a cloud in the sky. It'll be nice and dry for tomorrow. And of course, we hit a fork. Big surprise. So much on this side, but the other side here, the wood was just starting to die. There was wood down all over. Well, you can't see it from here, it's kind of back behind me, but there's downed trees and tons of dead timber. So hasn't been really producing the needles for raking, so he decided to clear cut it, which I am happy to, because this is beautiful wood for this machine. It's thick and perfect rows. No underbrush. He took care of it because he always raked it and whatnot. So I am enjoying it. There's about 55 acres of this or so. See, there's more dead ones here. You get these all over. You can see just bark falls off, it's dead. But I'll move them out of the way because I do not want to run over all that. It's not dead enough to dissolve it, but it's enough to make the roller rough for me and the forwarders. So I'll try to throw them dead ones out of my road just so we don't have to climb over them. Looks like, let's see from here, looks like one of our contract trucks are here getting loaded. She's out there loading away. I don't know if you can probably see it, I guess. Kind of hard to see. I wonder if I zoom in a little bit, if you see her back over there loading. Yeah, you can see her loading out of the pile there. Looks like she's putting the oversize on them. Usually takes her, I don't know, she probably averages 12 minutes and the truck's loaded and out of here. So you can see there's probably pushing 11, 12 loads of pulpwood, and you can't see how long that long pile is, but it's about as big as the pulpwood pile. So there is a lot of wood just sitting there waiting to be cut. Zoom back out here and go back to cutting. And what do you know, another fork tree. Roll up and get it to turn on us like that. Get a hold of that. And we'll get a 12-foot log out of that little fork. Next piece will be bigger out of it, but off, just so we just waste that little chunk of wood versus a big chunk of it. Then we'll go back to cutting logs, and it looks like we'll get a log out of it and maybe two, and it looks like it starts forking again. What is going on here? It's measuring funky. A twig underneath there. The wheel looks all good. Must have had a stick in between the tree and the measuring wheel. let's try again. We're in business now. Yeah, so we got the one log out of there, and of course it forks again, and looks like each fork forks one more time. We're just gonna process this all together. Get a hold of it right. This one on the bottom, it's almost every tree. There's something wrong with every one, I swear. So this one, you can see it's all damaged and cankered up. So if we cut that, I don't know, 5 feet off of it, the rest of it is a nice tree, and we'll cut a bunch of logs on it. So we just waste that little short piece of wood, take the defect out, go back to cutting the logs. What do you know, another fork. Oh, look at that. Contract truck is leaving and ours is pulling up to get loaded. Can't complain about that.